What do you think about when you see opposite colored bishops on the board? Well, usually we think about the drawing tendencies, but there's another important factor related to opposite colored bishops, and I'm talking about the attacking potential. Yes, just imagine you're playing a middle game and you have dark square bishops against your opponent's light square bishop, and you are able to set a target and attack it on the dark squares. What can your opponent's light square bishop do to defend this pawn? Nothing. So if you target a point and get your pieces together to attack it, there are very good chances your attack will succeed. So this gives different color bishop a very important attacking potential. And this is what I'm talking about in this video. Okay, without further ado, let's jump right into the first example. So here we are. We are in a position of an analysis in which white is better, clearly better, as what is happening? Okay, the material is even. We are 5 pawns against 5 pawns, but look at the bishops, compare the bishops. Yeah, our bishop is attacking f7, while black's bishop is only defending e7 and has no target at all. Yeah, now white is threatening rook b7. There's an extra consideration that is really interesting. We have a pawn majority, but this pawn majority is not in the ideal way. Yeah, having the pawn on h3 gives white a bigger advantage still. This is completely winning with the pawn on h3, as white would be able to play g4 and move the majority, trying to play f5. As you'll see, this is something very important. But in the game, Magnus Carlsen reached, this was not the position of Magnus Carlsen. I'm going to leave you the game, the complete game, in the comments below, but reached a very similar position and won in a style, but not as perfect as this example. This is an analysis. Okay, now black is forced to defend against rook b7. What to do to protect f7? Okay, there are a couple of moves. One is bishop e7, with the intention of answering rook b7 by king f8 and cut the pressure over f7, and the other one is to retreat with the rook. So let me show you first what would happen with bishop e7, that in my opinion is a far more logical move than rook a7. You are trying to use the principle of economy in defense, as you are using the king and the bishop and having the rook for active purposes, as going against the king, rook e1 and rook e2, rook e3, attacking the g3 pawn that is somewhat weak, as we cannot move it. On the pawn on h2 would be different, on h3 it would be different, but the pawn on g3 is weak. So playing bishop e7 makes a lot of sense. Okay, the game may continue with rook b7, king f8, and well, as I told you, this is a way to stop white's pressure over f7, and yeah, it's really difficult to break through. It's hard to understand what to do. Yeah, the pawn on h5 is stopping g4. Well, look, the bishop not only attacks, but also controls the rook, so our king is really safe. He's not going to be attacked by the rook anytime soon. Well, I suggest you to stop the video and try to find a way to increase our pressure. Well, the best move is the surprising g4. Yeah, after h takes g4, now we continue with the second sacrifice, h5. Well, g takes h5 and f5. This is the idea. We give a couple of passed pawns in order to mobilize our pawns and to increase the pressure against f7. This is a remarkable idea, a fantastic idea. And this is possible due to the strong bishop, yeah, that controls the rook. Well, the game may continue in various ways. f6 is not a good way, as e takes f6, bishop d6, only move, almost, because bishop takes f6, rook f7, winning their bishop, and bishop d6 rounds into rook d7, threatening the bishop and threatening mate. Similar is bishop d8, rook b8, followed by f7, and the bishop drops. So f6 is not the answer. It's not the best idea. Perhaps playing bishop h4, trying to restrict our king. Bishop h4 is a tricky move. Now we have to be really accurate. What to play? I again suggest you to stop the video to find white's best move. Well, the move is f6, a fantastic move, restricting the king, threatening mates, and, well, not falling into rook takes f7, king e8, and now after e6, rook b1, rook b1, stopping bishop b5 and threatening check. So this is it. After the check, the g pawn is going to roll over, or simply we're going to give 100 checks and this is going to be a draw. Another option is f6 and then rook e1, attacking the pawn, e6, rook e2, and perpetual check, and that's it, a draw. So playing f6 is the right way to go. The game may continue with king e8, and now bishop takes f7, king d8, bishop takes h5, getting rid of those pawns, rook a to king f1, rook a1, king e2, check, king d2, rook takes e5. Yeah, black is fighting back, but after f7, there is very little they can do. Bishop e7 or rook f5, but rook f5 loses right away as check. King e7, controlling f8 with the king and with the rook, is answered with rook e8, followed by f8 with an extra rook. So bishop e7 and bishop takes g4. And we're going to win by playing rook b8 and f8. And, well, this pawn is going to decide the game, as later on we're going to grab the c5 pawn and the d4 pawn. So this is a very instructive example, and I like to show you what could happen in case of, instead of bishop e7, yeah, it's very beautiful, I really enjoy it. Rook b7, king f8, and g4. Yes, we're threatening, by now, we're threatening not g takes h5, but f5. In case of rook e1, this is very interesting variation, this is a very nice variation. Rook b8, king g7, rook e8, threatening the bishop, forcing bishop f8. Look how restricted the bishop is. And now f5. Yeah, now the rook is defending e5, and we're threatening f6. G takes f5, bishop d6. Oh, the fourth variation continues, as the pawn is not able to capture as rook e8, and black is winning. So f6, king h7, of course, king g6 runs into rook g8 and e takes d6. And now the fantastic e6. Yeah, white is trying to get a passer, f takes e6, bishop takes e6, followed by f7, king g6, f7, rook e3, and rook g8, winning on the spot as king f6 is answered by bishop c4, and there is no way to stop f8 with a winning position. A very nice variation, all in all, g4, rook e1, and yeah, fantastic, rook b8, followed by rook e8 and f5. Yeah, we're mobilizing the pawns and winning by attack. Okay, so the other variation that is also interesting, but this was the main line, bishop e7, is rook a7. Now, with the rook being passive, we can achieve the same things, but now by playing g4, h takes g4, and king g3. Yeah, with the rook on a7 we can do that. With the rook on a1, not, because we will be checked with rook g1 and not being able to recapture the pawn. So king g3, bishop e7, and king takes g4, followed by h5. Yeah, the position is really simplified, but even though this is a very nice attacking perspective. One of my favorite variations here is f6, trying to simplify, h5, threatening rook g8, g takes h5, king takes h5, f takes e5, f takes e5. Now we have a passer. And well, the thing is that our bishop is really superior to black's bishop. This bishop is really passive. Rook a1, trying to harass our king. Rook g8, king h7, and rook e8. Now the bishop is under attack. Rook a7, king g4, king g6, rook g8, king h6, king f5, king h7, rook g2, bishop d6, king e6, rook b7, king d6, bishop e7, king c6. Now look, compare the kings. Yeah, our king is a complete monster. Rook a7, rook f2, trying to penetrate. King g6, rook f7, and that's it. We are about to play king b6 or e6. Yeah, king h5, king b6, followed by, or even e6, I guess. e6 right away is better, as we're playing king b6, winning the bishop and winning the game. So this is a pretty instructive position. After rook e8, also rook h1, king g4, rook g1, king f5, and this is really instructive. And this is really instructive. After rook g7, okay, I mean, we have several ways to win, but giving up the exchange is the easiest. Rook takes e7, rook takes e7, king f6. Look at the ratio. We have 3 pieces against the lonely rook. So rook e8, e6, and the thing is that the king cannot approach, as king g8 runs into e7, king h7, and king f7. So we win the rook. And well, rook f8, there are several ways to play. King e7, king g7, king d7, threatening e7, rook a8, e7, check, king d6. Now there is no check on a6, rook a8, and well, you have a fantastic way to win by playing the simple bishop d7. Yeah, now the rook, after moving to b8, king c7, and we are going to attack it. Rook e8, king d7, or rook h8, king d7, and that's it. We're going to queen, and there is nothing black can do to counterattack, trade pawns, or anything at all. A very nice example that comes from a Carlsen game. And okay, I'm going to show you the last one. This is my favorite actually, because it's the one that shows you the real essence of this battle. The battle of opposite color bishops as an attacking factor. This is mind-blowing. Here we go. White to move. Yeah, can you see how simplified the position is? We have the bishop and a pawn. Can we really win this position? Well, yes, we can. We'll start by playing bishop c2. This is a forced move. No, there is nothing else we can do, as king b3 is coming. Bishop c2, king a5, and b4. This is a natural move, king a6. And here is where we have to start thinking seriously. And what is our advantage? Yeah, our advantage is the bad situation of this bishop. And we cannot allow c6, as the bishop would open, or we cannot allow bishop a7, as the bishop will play a normal game. So our move is king c6, stopping both. Bishop a7 is simply answered by bishop d3 checkmate, a curious position, and c6 is no longer possible. So king a7 forced, and now we play b5. We are restricting the mobility of this king. King a8, black is about to play bishop a7, and a draw, guaranteed. But we have the fantastic bishop e4. Now, king a7 is forced, as bishop a7 is answered with checkmate. Bishop a7, king takes c7, checkmate. King a7. And here is white to move and win. Well, the thing is to maintain the position to give the turn to black. So any move, bishop h1, if you want, king a8 and b6. Black is forced to play c takes b6 and king takes b6, checkmate. This is the real essence of the whole stuff. Even without any pawns, even without any other pieces, having different colored bishops is an attacking factor, as you can see it on the board. Well, and by the way, of course, after b6, bishop a7, king takes c7, also checkmate. And this is a mind-blowing composition by Bernard Horowitz. A nice one. Okay, so if you're liking the stuff I'm sharing, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe in case you haven't done it. Thank you.